Mission 2. As a group, we took the responsibility to organise the guest speaker, and in this group there was myself, Greg French, Aaron Goodall and Erin Finch.
Hi, I'm Aaron Goodall and I'm project coordinator for our group. Our brief was to locate a guest speaker to come into Bournemouth University to give a talk about anything related to our course. Firstly, we asked our seminar class if anyone knew any lecturers or anyone who could give a business talk. One knew a guy called Nathan Whitaker who works at Cartbank, and he's a relationship manager and was a mentor for the person who knew him. Secondly, someone was a nephew of a guy called Peter Albury, who is a guest lecturer at Swansea University. Although we knew these two people, we wanted to look further afield, and so we decided to look at apprentice candidates. So we first located Kimberly Davis and Neil Clough, and although we thought these would be easy to market because a lot of the demographic at uni would have watched The Apprentice and would know who these people are, the fees to get them in was just too astronomical.
Our decision.
Hi, I'm Greg. I was the Deputy Manager for this task. As you previously heard from Aaron, we had 4 candidates for this guest speaker role. First choice, Dr. Albury, was available to do a talk for us. Therefore, we got in with him. Harry did the organisation with him to get him in for sometime in November. Date was arranged for the 20th of November, and Dr. Albury said he was going to come in and give us a light-hearted talk on stuff which took him 40 years to learn. Being a Director of Engineering at National Power, and since supposedly retiring in 1999, he set up his own engineering consultancy business, which has been very successful. Fresh out of this legal case, Dr. Albury came in and gave a talk on contract law, finance, risk assessment and stuff which was relevant to our further education.
How we communicated.
I'm Erin Finch and I was project supervisor during the mission. During the mission we met up every week to discuss how the process of the task was going, and we reported back to the lecturers regularly. We met up 12 times during the course of during the process of the mission, and when we met up it was usually in the library. We booked techno booths, or perhaps sometimes it was in the business school. Our only limitations, I would say, were of like how it could have been better were when we met up, perhaps we were restricted with time. Maybe we chose to meet like during lectures, and maybe we could have so we didn't have time to maybe discuss more. Other than that, I thought it ran pretty smoothly over our meetings, and we communicated via Facebook, texts, emails, and we reported back to the lecturers regularly via email to discuss how we were doing.
The organisation.
Okay, so as project manager, my role was to organise the event and ensure it ran smoothly. I used emailing to find out Peter's flexibility and whether or not he was available. After all, we didn't have a budget and therefore required Peter to take time off from his busy schedule and fund his own travel and expenses as well. And then after several attempts, we finally settled a date, which was the Wednesday the 20th of November at 12 o'clock. When we confirmed this, I then booked a lecture theatre to ensure we had sufficient space and to let Peter know the directions in advance. And we also booked a car parking space in order to be helpful and make sure he was relaxed about the event and impressed with our organisational skills. As a group, we collaborated to finalise the itinerary of the day and then passed this information on to Peter to ensure he knew what to expect. This included such things as directions, timings, where the lecture is, etc. As the day approached, myself and group colleagues met Peter in the car park and took him to the lecture theatre to ensure he felt at ease. After the lecture, we then went for lunch with him to ensure he felt the visit was worthwhile and to find out a little bit more about his personal experiences. Only thing left to do was to promote it, so we decided the most effective places were on MyBU, as it's usually checked by students. We then used this to our advantage by posting on the discussion board for Mission 2, and we also made a Facebook page as this targets our specific target audience and raises awareness to entice students to come. We also emailed Mark Rodolfo, the Assistant Dean and part of the DMC team, to ask to forward an email onto all level CBAB students. I delegated responsibility so that it was evenly spread out between us all, and we were all happy with the standard of work. And overall it was a very successful event, and I felt the organisation was efficient and our hard work definitely paid off.
Feedback and improvement.
So the guest speaker task ran smoothly. We had attendees of between 20 and 25, with 6 of them completing questionnaires at the end, all with extremely good feedback, average level of probably 8 or 9 out of 10 rating for Dr. Aubrey's lecture. So it was proven to be a good lecture, with good feedback. The problem for me was the lack of attendees. 25 out of potentially 300 students probably isn't really good enough for the business school. I think we did all we could in the marketing of the event. We put it on Facebook, we put it on the board. So we marketed it to its full potential. It was at a good time in the day. It was on a day when everyone was free. So my question would have been, why is there only 20-25 people turning up to this lecture, which has received immense feedback? So for next year, I think the business school academics need to help us out a little bit more in making sure that the lecturers feel like they're giving a little bit more to the university, more than to just 20-25 students. Because, for example, with Dr. Aubrey, he travelled 2 hours to come only to lecture to 25 students. Probably isn't good enough. It doesn't make him feel quite as good as he probably should have done after giving a superb lecture.
At the end of the lecture, we got Peter to fill in a feedback sheet just to see how he felt the lecture went. Some of the key things to come out is he thought it was very well organised, and he felt that if there was a problem with anything, he could come to us and we were approachable to sort out the problem for him, to make sure that it was a smooth event. He enjoyed Bournemouth University and said that he would come again if required.